We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program, coming to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Studios and the South Point Studio streaming network at YouTube at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas. We welcome you to the show. We welcome you listening to our local radio station here in town as well. On the radio side, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM, and of course, all of the other platforms that we have, our websites, and your Google phone, your iPhone, your Android with the apps, and anywhere you get your podcasting as well. We welcome you to the show. It's a kind of a calm before the storm type of run that we're having this week, because you know what happens the day after Christmas. We got the opening of Santa Anita. We got Aqueduct back in the business, and all of the other racetracks will be rolling along right through the Christmas weekend till the New Year. But for now, they're starting to wind down a bit, and of course, we have a very brief racing menu to go on, but nevertheless, we have our handicappers with us. Jonathan Hardoon will be with us. He searched out a winner or two for us, and Rich Ang will have not only a pick on the horse racing side, but also the NFL game tonight. We've got a Thursday night NFL game. It's a goodie, too. We'll talk to Rich about that. John Lindo will, report to us from Southern California, tell us what's going on there in Southern California as they prepare to open Santa Anita the day after Christmas. And, of course, Jerry Jackowitz will be along with us again to discuss a little bit of betting angles and how he works his numbers, etc. Want to remind everybody a few things while we have a moment, and that is, of course, here at the South Point, on Friday and Saturday nights, they bring in Australian racing from Australia. And it's and you can bet it. It's a pari-mutuel wagering here in the, they have a pari-mutuel pool in the United States for the Australian racing. And it's on Friday and Saturday evenings. I believe on Friday they have 4 different tracks coming in from Australia, and on Saturday, I do believe they have 3 of them coming in. So that's kind of a fun thing and kind of exclusive here, the Australian racing, in case you want to, come on out and have dinner and a few cocktails and maybe bet some horses in the evening hours. It's available here in the race book, the Australian racing. And don't forget about the other great shows that we have on the South Point Streaming Network. We've got, of course, Sports by the Book that happens each day here. And Football Frenzy that shows up on Fridays, Football Frenzy Fridays, talking about all the great football games. Now, we're getting into the College Bowl games, that part of the schedule where we have a lot of the College Bowl games right around the corner. We start with the playoffs for the College Football Championship. And, of course, it's squeeze time for the NFL because we're about 4 weeks away from the playoffs with the NFL, so a lot of the NFL teams that are still in line trying to get to make the playoffs will be, competing hard as well. So as we move through this kind of almost Christmas week, I want to just remind you about some of those things. Now, don't forget, coming up this weekend, coming up Saturday, Gulfstream Park has 5 great stakes races going on, and one of them is the Harlan's Holiday. They held a field, they drew a field of 7 for the Harlan's Holiday, and Skippy Longstockings is the headliner there. That is a Pegasus World Cup prep, the Harlan's Holiday for the Pegasus World Cup that'll happen early next year at Gulfstream Park. So they've got those great 5 races, 2 grade 3s, and 3 more other stakes races on Saturday's card at Gulfstream Park. And as far as the other races on tap this weekend, a couple of races for 2-year-olds. I know we're talking 2-year-olds, and I'm about to tell you those races have Kentucky Derby points to them. I know it's still 2-year-olds, but we all know that on the first day of the year, there is a universal birthday that happens to all horses that race in America. They get 1 year older. So the 2-year-olds today, less than 30 days away, will be 3-year-olds. And so there are 2 races this weekend that will possess some Kentucky Derby points for them. And those races for the 2-year-olds right now, the Gun Runner at the Fairgrounds saw a field of 8 entered for that. And the Springboard at Remington Park saw a big, full, bulky field of 12 for that one. Now, they got some big races going on at Remington Park on Saturday. In fact, that is the one of 6 stakes races that will be run at Remington Park Saturday. So we got 5 at Gulfstream. We got 6 big stakes races at Remington Park. We got another Derby point getter of 3 stakes races at the fairgrounds. And Laurel Park will have 4 stakes races as well. So we do have some great racing heading to our way, good competitive racing heading our way on the weekend. It's just a little bit dull during the week. And you add to that some of the weather conditions that are out there on the racetracks, and you can see that we were pretty brief in the menu as well. But it looks like, as far as the weather is concerned, it looks like the weather is going to be, there's a big front that's going right through the Midwest. And they tell us that not only with this front that's right around Des Moines, Iowa, and going through Illinois, etc., and another swath from Nashville, Tennessee, on down to the the west side of the Florida, etc. There's a storm that entire storm system is moving from the Midwest now to the east, and they tell us that there are like gale winds that are happening with this storm. Like there's some places that have seen winds up to 85 and 90 miles an hour going through there in the Midwest. So there might be a little bit of concern for any of the racetracks that might be there. But kind of a shame. It's beautiful both in New York and Southern California, but there's no racing at either one of those tracks today. So we'll wait and see there. But we got some nice cards available at Gulfstream Park and the fairgrounds, and at Turfway Park. Remember, our handicappers gave us a couple of horses at Turfway Park. Unfortunately, they didn't hit. Rich Ang's horse finished second in the 10th and final race at Turfway. Got beat by a $36 horse. His horse paid $4 and change to place. So if you bet the horse win and place equally, there was no harm, no foul there. Dwayne Colucci's horse didn't get there, but it was a long shot. He gave us a 10-1 shot, and those horses don't get there as often as the favorites do when they get them out. And Jonathan Hardoon, no harm, no foul with him because his horse was scratched at Tampa Bay. So we will, of course, try to get a little bit better with. We need to get a little bit more money for that shopping list. That's for sure. As far as any of the news is concerned around the country, I could tell you, Jareth Loveberry, jockey Jareth Loveberry, received his 2,000th career win on Friday at the fairgrounds. So we want to congratulate Jareth Loveberry for the 2,000 win plateau in his career. And this was an interesting piece that I saw that was really interesting. We remember the filly Tamra. Tamra was a really force in Southern California as a 3-year-old, but she only had one start. Only one start last year as a 4-year-old. Tamra won the Chillingsworth Stakes at Santa Anita back on October 4th, and she hasn't been seen since. But she did make news. A couple of days ago, she got disqualified from the Chillingsworth because 2 different separate tests came back positive with a drug that is a muscle relaxer. Well, she won the race, but she got a muscle relaxer anyhow. So anyhow, Dick Mandela, the trainer, got fined $500 for that, and she, the winner's share of the Chillingsworth, now gets redistributed. Tamra, her only start last year, now disqualified, but she is in training again because she was a force when she was around. She really had a lot of upside to her. She's in training again, and Dick Mandela has circled the Las Flores Stakes at Santa Anita on the 4th of January as a start for Tamra for next year. So we'll wait and see about that. And after a 5th place finish at a racetrack this horse loves at Oaklawn Park, Skelly has been retired. That's right. After that 5th place finish at Oaklawn, they decided to retire Skelly from racing. And so Skelly retires with 12 wins, most of them at Oaklawn Park, from 25 starts. And he banked a little bit over $2 million in earnings. So Skelly has been retired as well. Well, that's about all the news that we have for you. Now we're just going to go to I think we're going to go to our first break, and we'll get Jonathan Hardoon here, see if he's got anything up his sleeve for today. And, of course, our handicappers will be with us. Hardoon, Eng, Lindo, Jerry J. And we will continue on our Thursday Race Day show right after this.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas here in Las Vegas. Right now it's 46 degrees outside, partly cloudy. The sun and the clouds will be mixing in there. And we're going to get up to the 71 degrees today here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to get up to 71. This is the type of weather that we're going to have through the weekend. But next week, it looks like we might have some rain. And unfortunately, the forecast for the day after Christmas in Southern California doesn't look good, folks. They're expecting a rainstorm to go through there. They're expecting rain. Now, whether it materializes or not, we don't know. But the weatherman says there'll be rain the week of Christmas. I think it'll start right around Christmas Eve, Wednesday, go through Christmas Day, and into the next day, maybe at Santa Anita. So we'll wait and see about that. It would be a shame because Santa Anita's got a tremendous opening day card there the day after Christmas and a multitude of graded stakes races as well. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Maybe that storm will pass around, whatever. In any case, if they were racing today in Southern California, it'd be great. It's 81 degrees there. New York, if they were racing there, wouldn't be too bad either. It's 51 degrees. But they are racing in Florida, and Miami is 80 degrees. Tampa Bay is 81 degrees. And, oh, folks, it's back. Brownsville, Texas is the hottest spot in the nation at 85 degrees. 85 degrees on the 18th day of December. Wow. In any case, let's get started with your racing menu for today. Reminding you that the first post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. If you're coming on out to the South Point, playing the races here in the book, these will be the first post times that roll out in the race book. We are in the Pacific time zone. And if you're not listening anywhere else around there, around the world, just adjust from the Pacific time zone, whatever one you're in, tweak it out, and you won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? We begin with Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park has 8 races today. Their first post time is set at 9:20. They have a Rainbow Jackpot Pick 6 Jackpot carryover, $209,911. $209,911 in the Rainbow Jackpot Pick 6 carryover at Gulfstream, and a first post time there again for 8 races set at 9:20 at Gulfstream. All right, next up comes the Fairgrounds. Fairgrounds in Louisiana. Now, that might be a little bit difficult because those storms are making their way in the general area. In any case, there are 9 races today at the Fairgrounds, and Pick 6 carryover, $2,510. It's a regular Pick 6 carryover. $2,510, 9 races, and a first post time of 10:45 at the Fairgrounds. Turf Paradise in Phoenix, Arizona will start out its 8-race card with 2 quarter-horse races, and then races 3 through 8 will be thoroughbreds. Turf Paradise's Pick 6 Jackpot carryover, $162,080. That's a lot of money for the carryover there at Turf Paradise, $162,080. First post time at Turf Paradise is set at 12:15 at Turf Paradise today. Delta Downs is next. Delta Downs has 8 races. Their first post time is 2:45 at Delta. Following that, you've got Penn National. Penn National has a Super High Five jackpot carryover of $25,356. $25,356 in the Super High Five jackpot carryover at Penn National. Penn Nat's first post time for 9 races set at 2:45 as well. And then Turfway Park. Turfway Park has 10 races, and they're full fields again at Turfway Park. Boy, they've got the full fields there. Good gambling at Turfway Park. 10 races. First post time is 2:55. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $106,697. $106,697 in the Pick 6 jackpot carryover at Turfway. Turfway, again, 10 races. First post time is at 2:55. And then Remington Park wraps up the short menu on the day. Remington Park has 9 races, and their first post time at Remington Park is set at 4 p.m. at Remington. Let's go out to Jonathan Hardoon. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. You know what? At this time of the year, the racing kind of winds down.
It's the lull, like you said. It's the lull before it's the calm before the storm, just like you called it. Let's hope Santa Anita, the weather cooperates, because that would be horrible if they lost that day of racing. I mean, everyone looks forward to that for a couple of weeks coming into it. And, maybe they'll mess up the weathermen. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, and let's hope that the weatherman is wrong this time.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be the first time if they got it wrong.
I know that you're looking around, obviously, when the main tracks that you do aren't running. And so you'll take an observation or et cetera, and do a little handicapping at some other tracks. I know you had, you're looking at Turfway Park. Is it a little bit, I don't know, do you have to tweak your numbers? Do you have to tweak your handicapping because of the surface, like the synthetic versus a dirt track? I mean, is there any difference in your...
It's completely different racing. It's like running on turf or dirt. You don't handicap a turf race the same way you handicap a dirt race. They used to say that Tapeta and turf were more or less interchangeable as far as the numbers are concerned, but I don't think so much anymore. I think horses, they like surfaces that they run on. Very few like all surfaces. Usually you have something that you prefer. So it's hard. Listen, turfway is basically impossible, to tell you the truth. But if you get lucky and you hit, you're going to get rewarded, because everything pays there every night. Last night, I think they had another $49,000 pick 5. It's, so a lot of possibilities if you get lucky.
I don't know if the pick 5 paid 49. It did a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah. I believe it did on Tuesday, maybe. Yesterday.
Maybe Tuesday.
Yesterday. Well, the late pick 5 yesterday at Turfway. And these were not hard numbers to get to, except the last race. $9 and change, $6 and change, $9 and change, $7 and change. I'm not going to go through the pennies here. And the last race paid $36 and change. So if you could have tagged that last race, really as a little bit.
You just got to pick the right races to go deep in.
Yeah.
You have to gamble, take a shot. What I like to do is find the most difficult races on the card and narrow down those races, because if you happen to be right in those races, well, your ticket is worth exponentially more.
Well, it paid $4,500 and change last night at Turfway with those horses. So now you're telling me, this is interesting that we have an opportunity to talk about this. When you're building a multi-race ticket, pick 4, pick 5, pick 6, a lot of people will go into a race that looks, much more competitive than some other races.
Right.
That's the races they go deep in, and then they'll find one of the races that looks like the
whole world is singling.
A singling, right?
That everyone's singling. You don't
right?
Want
Exactly. I'm asking this question, but you're looking at it in reverse. You're going to the most competitive races and going to make your stand there. And then in the race where everybody has the singleton, you go 1 or 2 deep and hope that horse gets beat to enhance the payoff, if you get the others right, of your ticket, correct?
Exactly. And I'm going to be wrong a lot more than I'm right. But when I'm right, I have an opportunity to make a score, Listen, most of those races are basically very tough, and not all the time do the results make sense. So why not gamble? Take a race that's wide open, where everyone's using 6, 7 horses. You narrow it down to one or two. Well, you know how much stronger your ticket becomes? Not only that, in races where everyone else is singling a horse, well, now you have an opportunity to go deeper in those races. And that's how you get rewarded, and that's how you make a score.
And those are the races that'll typically, when a horse, big favorite doesn't win, knocks out a lot of tickets in one swoop.
Exactly. That's the whole point of gambling that way, especially in a day and age when you're dealing with CAW and everything else. It's so much tougher to win. You got to try to make an edge. And I understand it's called gambling for a reason, and you're going to gamble in those races. And believe me, try it. You have nothing to lose except for what you bet.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
You're going to lose anyway if you're betting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
sure,
right.
absolutely.
Try something different, Ralph. Try something different that's an original idea that you will get rewarded if you're right. Again, you're going to be wrong a lot more times than you're right, but when you're right, you're going to get rewarded.
And I guess that would be almost the philosophy that you have when you make selections for the race day show. Although some of the horses do get bet in the race anyhow, whether it's CAW or anything else, it's a hot horse. You look for value and all of the handicappers on the show look for value, because that's where
the only shot you have in this game is looking for value. If you're going to bet 3 to 5, 6 to 5, 4 to 5, you're going to go broke slowly. It's going to be a slow death, but you're going to eventually, you can't win. You have to insist on getting value. That's the whole problem with CAW betting the last minute. You're betting a horse that's 7 or 8 to 1. And then when CAW kicks in, being able to bet to the end, and all of a sudden that horse is 5 to 2, well, you lost your whole edge. You understand? So
yes,
that's
absolutely.
why you must insist on some sort of value.
See, this is a good time to talk about philosophies of wagering, et cetera, and how you attack playing the races, especially.
Everyone has their own way of doing things. Look, Jerry J, perfect example. He always tries to look for value, and we come from the same school, and that's the way to be some sort of a success in this game.
Okay. I do want everybody to know out there that we did not chop off his chin. He's got his camera a little tilted up this time. There you go.
Sorry.
I just thought, I just want to make sure that we're not chopping off your chin. But in any case, yes, that's a good conversation to have, because there's an old saying that a guy told me a long time ago, and it took me a while to to really sink in. But he says, I play the races. I don't play to win. I play to make money. And what he was trying to tell me was just like you're saying. If you bet the favorites all the time, which is, the races that horses figure to win on paper anyhow.
30%, 33% of the time. So, but all you're doing is chopping yourself up, because if you're betting, if you're hitting 1/3 of the time and you're betting 6 to 5 shots, in the long run, you have to get eaten alive. So.
Yeah, the breakage will get you, which is the tax that we pay for
the takeout and everything else.
Participating,
exactly.
Right? Not the breakage. Yes, the takeout. I'm sorry. Well, sometimes
that's all right.
Sometimes the breakage does too. But now they're giving us pennies.
It's 33 cents, 3 cents, 9 cents.
Please.
It's not fun being a teller at the windows.
Oh
these days.
Man, they hate that. They hate that. Because I don't think there's a teller out there that's now having to cash with pennies that balances out at the end of the day.
No.
Oh, you're 45 cents short today, or whatever. It's got to be a real
no
thing.
one's draw is coming out perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's just not happening.
It ain't happening. All right, let's get started to see if we can get some winners. By the way, the Harlan's Holiday is coming up this weekend with the Skippy Longstockings. What do you think about that? I mean.
I gave a quick look at the race. They drew the other day. Skippy Longstockings is far from a lock. Is he going to? I don't even know who's going to be the favorite. But what I'm interested in watching this weekend is the return of Tepin Street, the Brad Cox horse that was going to be one of the favorites in the Derby and got hurt before the Derby. Well, he's making his return to the races. I think either tomorrow or Saturday. I think tomorrow I saw him. running.
He's
So
running on
that's
Friday in
I think so. Tappan Street. Let me look
in
it up.
an other than type of race. Is
Yeah,
that
they
it?
rode a race for him.
Oh, they did.
Like they
Okay.
always do.
What
Very
track?
good horse. At Gulfstream.
All right. So
Yeah.
Gulfstream. Okay. So we'll take a look at that then.
Actually, it's Saturday, I think. Yeah.
All right.
It's not
Saturday.
tomorrow. It's going to be Saturday.
All right. But you'll on the day you'll give us the
We'll
heads
be
up.
ready for everything, Ralph. We always are.
Okay. Well, are we ready?
Results aren't always good, but we're always ready and
Yeah.
have some sort of opinion and something to say.
Well, give me your opinion and give me a winner today.
Okay, so let's go to Gulfstream first and look at race number 7. It's 5 furlongs on Tapeta. And I like the number 4 horse in here, Foggy Note. This is a 5-year-old mare from the Louis Ramirez barn. Catilo Martinez aboard to ride. This horse has been on the dirt her last 3 races. She returns to Tapeta where she really does her best running.
Mhm.
She's listed at 4-1 on the morning line. I like number 4, Foggy Note, to win today's 7th race out at Gulfstream Park.
All right, 7th race today at Gulfstream, number 4, Foggy Note. Foggy Note, the 4-horse. Jonathan Hardoon's play at Gulfstream. And is this...
We did something different today, Ralph.
I know. I was just going to say, is this the first time that we're going to get a pick from you from the fairgrounds?
Yeah, it's the first day I did it. I had a couple of requests. Listen, there's not much running, so people want more than one track.
Yeah.
So I did fairgrounds. I did the 8th race today, and this is a selection for turf only. I hope it stays on the grass, but listening to your weather forecast, there was a chance of showers, you said, somewhere around there. Anyway, I like the number 9 horse in here, Mr. M. This is a 7-year-old gelding from the Red Hot Joe Sharp barn. What I like about this horse is he's 3 for 4 at fairgrounds on the turf. So he likes the turf. Of course, Mitchell Murrell aboard to ride, 6-1 on the morning line. I like number 9, Mr. M, to win today's 8th race out at fairgrounds. Turf only, turf only.
Okay, it's turf only in the 8th race, the 9, Mr. M.
M, whatever you want to call
how
it.
many M's? 1, 2, 3, 4. His last name is 5 M's.
My
Okay.
finger may have gotten stuck on the button, but
Yeah.
it's 5 M's is 5 M's.
When you sent it to me, I said, "What did he get? A nervous twitch when he was typing?" But anyhow, that's the name, Mr. M, and that's your pick. 8th race, 5.5 furlongs on the turf at the fairgrounds. And by the way, if we have any chatters out there that are in the area and happen to know if they're coming off the turf, stick it on the chat box so we can get it, and we'll pass that along. One of our chatters did ask, by the way, isn't this strange that Dick Mandela on Tamara gets a violation for the drugs, and the horse actually gets disqualified from the purse money of a stakes race, and he doesn't get days. He only gets a $500 fine.
Well, it's Dick Mandela.
Okay,
if it was Rudy Rodriguez, they'd throw the book at you.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what the chatter. That's what the chatter is saying. No suspension for Mandela. What's going on?
It's a legitimate question. Well, but he gets them once every whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm sure if he got another one in the near future, days would be coming with it.
There'd be a HISA suspension coming. Okay, so in any case, let me take a look at the chatters. If anybody put it on there yet? Nope. Well, I don't see anything of an update from the fairgrounds, so we're going to go with the 8th race, the 9 horse, and I hope it's Mr. M is Mr. WWWW for win.
There you go.
All right, 8th race at fairgrounds, the 9. You do have a full sheet for fairgrounds and Gulfstream today, right?
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe and be well.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you, and for a little bit of a handicapping tip on gambling as well. We will be back right after this break with Rich Eng standing by.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans.
Everybody knows where the money's going, every single dollar. God bless you.
Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Get weekly football winners from Alex White, Chris Andrews, and Vinny Malulo.
I did take the dog 3.5.
I'm going to stay with the Colts here. That's definitely going to be one of my plays.
If the Bears have turned the corner, they have to take care of business in this game.
Yes.
Tune in for behind-the-book perspectives you won't find anywhere else.
Well, if you're looking to bet the under, you're going to get a better number.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
I know if it hits 7, don't blink. Maybe that's what bettors are waiting for.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Is there a way to bet against both teams?
Get your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Looking at the chat box today, one person was saying that he had a hard time getting on in the chat box. He's a subscriber, but he had a hard time. He had to go back and forth several times and was wondering if, what the problem was. It's not here at the South Point Studios. We don't control that. That's on the YouTube page. So it's the YouTube folks that is having a little snafu there this morning. But they'll get it squared away. And I want to thank the chatters for hanging in there. All right, let's go to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, I know that, oh, by the way, another one of the chatters said that it was really sad how light this Thursday card is, that the Thursday cards were always better, had more options than this one. But believe me, folks, this is only because we're ramping up to the holiday weekend, okay? After Christmas and into the new year, the Thursdays will be back with a lot more racetracks than are going to be this week. It's just the fact that it's this week leading up to the holiday. Like I was talking about, it is a kind of a light schedule for today, Richie.
Well, it is the winter, so December, January are going to be light months as far as the number of racetracks running in North America. And things will start to evolve as we get into February and March, where you get those springtime tracks opening up. But it's going to be a little light this month and next month, Rob. It's just the way it is. There's just not as many tracks open in the winter.
Yeah, but we will get back. We'll get Santa Anita online. We'll get New York back online. And of course, Oaklawn Park will be back as well. It's just that little sabbatical they're taking while the folks that work at the racetrack probably need to get their Christmas shopping done. In any case, you have been looking at Turfway Park the last couple of days for us, and I do believe you have a pick at Turfway Park today. But before we get to that, there's going to be a very entertaining NFL football game tonight, and I can't wait to hear how you have dissected that.
Yeah, tonight's game is really, really important for the NFC. The top two teams in the NFC are facing off: the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. And the winner of this game, Ralph, not only will have a close to a lock for winning the division, the Western division in the NFC, but also the number one seed. And the number one seed in the NFL playoffs is super important because 7 teams make the playoffs in AFC and NFC. The only team that gets a bye is the 1 seed. The other 6 teams will play off that first playoff weekend, and then you end up with 4 on each side, and then you just have the brackets. Mm-hmm. So getting the number 1 seed, that week of rest has proven historically in the past to be pretty important. You get an extra 7 days to heal some of those bumps and bruises that have occurred over an 18-week season. So the opening line for the game, Ralph, the Rams were favored by 1.5 in most books here in Vegas. Mm-hmm. The line has switched. The money has been pouring in on Seattle. In fact, the South Point is up to -2 for Seattle. But my pick and my bet in pocket is going to be on the Los Angeles Rams plus the 2 to upset the Seattle Seahawks. And also I bet the game using a 6-point teaser because I can tease the +2 through the 3, through the 7. So I'm +8 on the Rams to start teaser weekend in the National Football League. So, I think one of the reasons, Ralph, a lot of people are leaning towards Seattle is they have played already once this year.
Mm-hmm.
And while Seattle dominated the game statistically, the Rams won on the field. But Sam Darnold, if you remember, folks, he threw 4 interceptions in the game, and they were key interceptions. It wasn't, it wasn't dinking and dunking. He threw some really horrendous picks that hurt Seattle. And also, it was the worst game of the year for Matthew Stafford. He only threw for 150 yards, but they still won. So I think those are reasons why Seattle has become an overwhelming play with the public.
Now, you say that Stafford didn't have a good game in that game. So obviously the premise of your bet is that Stafford's going to have one of the games where he really shines.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford right now, he is the favorite to win the most valuable player MVP award from the National Football League, and that's because he has been consistently good all season long. I really think that that one game was a hiccup against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford's too good. There is a key injury, though, on the Rams side. That's another reason why people are going Seattle, is that Devontae Adams, the former Las Vegas Raider, is out. He's got a hamstring, and but they're hoping he can heal and be back in time for the playoffs. But Puka Nacua is still available, and he's obviously an outstanding wide receiver.
Yeah.
But the one thing the Rams like to do is they run what they call a 2 tight end, 3 tight end sets, and they will still throw the ball out of those power formations. So watch the Rams to play a lot of 2 tight end sets today on tonight's game.
Another dimension I think that's coming into play is they're playing in Seattle, correct?
It's at Seattle, yes.
Well, and we know that by far Seattle has got the loudest stadium in the NFL. They always take a picture of the volume of how loud it is, and that means that the Rams, Stafford's going to have to do a lot of silent counts.
Yeah, Seattle. That's where they started the 12th man for the for the fans, Ralph, and it is one of the strongest home field advantages in the National Football League. So I'm giving you a lot of reasons why people like Seattle. Here I am betting the Rams, but I think the Rams +2 and in a teaser up to +8 is my play for today.
Well, all I can tell you, Richie, is it's not so bad to be a contrarian when you're hitting the games, at least on the Race Day show, as you are. You got a heck of a run going here for the NFL. And, of course, we're going to be leaning on you during bowl season. We're about ready to start all the bowl games. Some of the minor bowl games have already started, but, we're going to get into some of the bigger bowl games coming up, as soon as we get to Christmas Day and beyond. So we're going to be tapping you on the shoulder for that as well. All right, give me a horse.
Race 5, Turfway Park, Ralph, and this is maiden specials going long. I like the number 10 horse, Sumud. This horse is a really well-bred youngster, only 2 career starts, comes out of Shadwell stable. But, this horse has run twice on the grass, actually ran pretty well twice, but they have, Brendan Walsh had this horse gelded last time out. I think this horse will hold price at 6-1 in a 12-horse field, the 10, Sumud in the 5th.
All right, the 5th race at Turfway, number 10, Sumud. The 10 in the 5th at Turfway tonight is Richie's play. And, Richie, I know that, you do a full sheet for Southern California, but that won't be coming into play now until after the day after Christmas. Are you planning anything for this week for your clients?
I'm going to do a simulcast plays of the day sheet, and I'll make it available free to all the viewers and listeners. All you do is just send me an email, and I'll email the sheet right back to you on Saturday and on Sunday. Simulcast plays of the day for free for all you listeners.
And that email is
Rich RICH _ Eng ENG. That's my last name at yahoo.com.
All right, you got it, my man. Of course, we'll remind people of that when we get to this weekend and the free offer as well. All right, thanks a lot, Rich. Enjoy the game tonight and the race as well, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
All righty. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, John Lindo standing by in Southern California. I know he's counting the days until Santa Anita opens up, but I think he's looking at the sky to find out just that we're going to have clear racing on opening day. We'll wait and see. We'll get the latest from John right after this.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to John Lendo, standing by in Southern California. John, are you looking at the sky there, buddy?
Well, no, good morning, Ralph. Excuse me, no problem so far. It's beautiful today. The fog cleared out a little earlier this morning, and we should be good till Tuesday, but then we're supposed to get a storm coming in that could drop somewhere between 2 and 4 inches up in that San Gabriel Valley where Santa Anita is located. So it's supposed to rain possibly Tuesday, Wednesday, and Christmas Day, and we start the day after Christmas. So we got our fingers crossed. We're going to hope for the best here. We will draw entries tomorrow for the opening day card. So Friday will be the entry day for the following Thursday, or for Friday, Santa Anita.
John, you know, you cover Southern California racing, and one of the chatters was commenting that when a horse gets disqualified by HISA for a drug violation, and especially Tamra in the stakes race got disqualified, that usually the trainer gets some sort of a suspension or a fine. In this case, Dick Mandela got a $500 fine, and that was it.
Well, a lot depends on the circumstances. In this case, the positive was for illegal medication, and the methocarbamol, I guess, is in Roboxen, which the horsemen use, and they had the documentation on the vet. It was prescribed for 3 days for a sore back, and this was 11 days out, and the withdrawal time was within plenty of the range of what it's supposed to be. But the horse tested positive for it. So Mandela showed everything he had. And again, a lot of it's based on his long track record of lack of violations.
Yeah.
So there was a fine, but there was no suspension of the trainer. So again, a lot of it these days with HISA, not only do you get a positive, what's it for? How did it get there? And can you document what you're telling us?
Yeah, well, it sounds like it was more of an innocent mistake, and the horse took longer to get that out of the system than what normally, what's normal.
Exactly. I mean, the withdrawal times are what the horsemen go by. That's what they're told, and sometimes it stays in the system longer, and then you're the guilty party.
All right. Anything happening in Southern California in the mornings with these horses working out and getting ready for opening day that we should know?
No, I would expect this weekend at Santa Anita, the workouts to be very busy, especially trying to beat that rain. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday will be very important to get the final works in. And we'll have a better read as to, who's in what races after tomorrow. So we'll kind of focus on those horses working this weekend.
Okay. Big day on opening day. Not only that the racing returns to Southern California, certainly they've always labeled it as the one present that horse players open the day after Christmas, but in this case, you've got 6 nice stakes races on opening day at Santa Anita, and I sure hope we can get a fast and firm going for that. We'll wait and see. Anyhow,
yeah, we hope so too. Yeah.
Your schedule for this weekend here.
Gonna do Oaklawn Park this weekend. Good cards all weekend at Oaklawn. So I've already done tomorrow's card. We'll do Saturday and Sunday, and I've got a play for you today at Gulfstream Park. I didn't do a sheet, but just looking through for a radio play for you guys.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go do, this is going to be, make sure, race number 5 at Gulfstream Park. Number 6, Irrelevant, comes off a good two good turf sprints at Aqueduct. I like the way he galloped out the last time after the wire. Stretches out for the first time, drops in for a claiming tag. Richard Dutro uses Johnny Velasquez here. 4-1 on the program. I think this horse will run long. So number 6, Irrelevant, race number 5, Gulfstream Park.
Now, this race is scheduled on the turf, and we haven't seen anything that says it's coming off the turf. But if it does, it's still a play.
This is turf only. I have no idea what the horse would do on a synthetic track, and I wouldn't even try.
Okay, so turf only, and it's still on the turf, folks. In the 5th race at a mile on the turf, number 6, Irrelevant, which we hope is very relevant in the winner's circle today. The 5th race, number 6 at Gulfstream. All right, John, we'll let you go, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right, you got it, my man. Now we go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. Hey, listen, Ralph.
Yes, sir.
How many people thought Geno Smith looked a lot better watching Kenny Pickett play quarterback last week?
I will say this. I don't think Geno Smith is the answer for the Raiders, but I will defend him in the fact that until we get an offensive line that can give any quarterback back there a chance to develop plays, they're going to get massacred. I mean, you know, they're just teeing off on these quarterbacks, and it doesn't matter who's back there.
Well, you know, you can see it with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he has had some games with the lowest ratings of any quarterback, but he also has the least amount of time to pass of any quarterback also. So the effectiveness of a quarterback is really hugely dependent on the big men up front. And it's just the way it is. And
you got to get you have to get a good solid 3 seconds back there without being molested to get your patterns out there and get your guys if they are free, you know.
Yeah, I mean, think about how bad it was for Josh Allen in the second half against the Texans when they were massacring him.
Yes, that's.
I wanted to do a little racetrack math for you today, Ralph, in my 3 minutes. Can I do that?
You have 2.5 minutes. Yeah, go.
All right. So, why is horse racing the greatest game on earth? That's the reason for this. If you take a $2 bet, let's say you bet it 12 times, $2 on a 5-1 shot, and you win 3 of the 12, which is not a ridiculous number, right? That's pretty reasonable. You win 3, lose 9. What does that mean? You get $36 back. You put up $24. You're winning 36. That gives you $12 of profit on a $24 bet. Simple enough?
And you look at that compared to sports betting, and it kicks the you-know-what out of it.
Compared to anything, the stock market, there's no place where you get a 50% return and only a successful 3 out of 12 times. And we're not talking about an impossible thing. We're talking about a very possible thing.
Sure, they're 5-1 shot. That's doable. Sure it is.
Right. So you're talking about a 50% edge if you just spend 25 minutes handicapping a race, grabbing John's sheet, grabbing my sheet, grabbing Hardoon's sheet, figuring it out, and saying, oh, here's a good 5-1 shot. It's not the best, maybe the best horse in the race, not the most likely winner, but at 5-1, this horse has a possibility of winning. You win 3 out of 12, and you got a 50% edge. I mean, you can take that to the bank, to the moon. You just can't do better.
I know.
There's no game in the world that compares to horse racing. And this is the financial proposition that it's being put in front of you. And I'm telling you, if you're betting like a 50-50 proposition on your phone that occurs every 10 seconds, free throws or whatever nonsense, you're out of your mind.
I am so glad, Jerry, that we took the time today for you to make that explanation. So simple that it's easy to understand, and it's one of the things that I've always professed to a lot of people that don't know that much about horse racing, that you can lose a lot more races in horse racing than you can a sporting event and still make money.
Absolutely. You have to win, I think, 55% of the time on straight bets in football.
Yeah.
It's not so easy.
No.
It's not so easy.
I want to thank you so much for that, Jerry, and you fitted it all in the 2.5 minutes you had.
Remarkable.
It is. Once in a while, you are remarkable, that's for sure. And you're going to get us out on time today because you're going to say the last thing for everybody, and so I'm going to let you do it.
Have Have a great race day, everybody.